Hi everybody, Matt Bernier here in the Daily Racing Forum studios, joined by DRF's national handicapper Mike Watchmaker. We're taking a look at this weekend's Weekend Warrior, and it is a Weekend Warrior where we've got two races on Saturday the 25th, one on Sunday the 26th, and two Kentucky Derby qualifying point races of the three. Let's start off though on Saturday, both races at Turfway Park. Let's start with the big one, race number 10, it's the Grade 3 Spiral. You have a $500,000 purse for 3-year-olds going a mile and an eighth on the synthetic surface. Mike, your favorite's likely to be Kitten's Cat, but you're going to go with the 2 Solio for Grand Motion.
I am. I think Solio will represent a little bit of value in this race, and he has many of the attributes that makes Kitten's Cat look so good in this spot. He's coming into this race off a series of very good turf performances, and while he's never raced on a synthetic racetrack before, I mean, there's a long history of horses that have run well on turf, making a successful transition to Polytrack. Solio comes in, unlike Kitten's Cat, though, from the West Coast. And I think his last 3 races were really good. I mean, he put in a wide, sustained run to get his maiden victory at Del Mar 3 starts back. 2 starts back, he was a narrowly beaten second and a gaining second at that in the Eddie Logan. And last time out, he was a rallying third in an allowance race. Both of those races were at Santa Anita. And in both of those races at Santa Anita, he was severely compromised by very slow early paces that really held together. And he also had to go wide to launch his runs on the far turn in both of those races, too, and that didn't help. I think he's going to get more pace in this race, and I think he's plenty good enough to capitalize if he gets the right setup.
We talked a little bit about Kitten's Cat, like you say, a horse coming up from South Florida. It ran in the Palm Beach most recently. Is there anyone else outside of those two that you're interested in as far as exotics?
Well, you know, I think Parlor is pretty logical in here too, and you know, I expect Kitten's Cat to be the clear favorite here, especially considering the fact that he was a very good second to the very talented Ticonderoga in the Palm Beach Stakes last time. Parlor comes into this off a win at Tampa Bay Downs. It was an allowance race. It wasn't nearly as strong a race as the one that Kitten's Cat comes into, but I think he's going to be in the same price neighborhood as Solio and not nearly as short as Kitten's Cat. And even though Parlor had a perfect trip against that somewhat softer field last time, he was a dominating winner. I mean, he was never asked to run. And he still won by daylight. And he's a very lightly raced horse who has every right to improve. And I think it's kind of interesting that literally 2 days before the running of this race, his connections, Parlor's connections, made him a late nominee to the Triple Crown. And I think that's notable because the winner of this race, even though it's a polytrack race, is going to get a 50 points, and that means an automatic starting berth in the Kentucky Derby.
Should be an interesting race. It usually is the 10th at Turfway Park Saturday afternoon. It's the Grade 3 Jack Cincinnati Casino Spiral Stakes, a mile and an eighth. Grand Motion has had success in this race in the past with a horse that went on to do some big things the first Saturday in May. We'll see what happens with the 2 Solio, your pick in this race. Mike, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at another big race at Turfway Park Saturday afternoon. It's for the 3-year-old girls, it's the Bourbonnette Oaks.